Hello. So let's talk a little bit about honesty and truth. So let's define honesty first. So Merriam-Webster defines honesty as adherence to the facts. The word adherence means the act or action. Now, how do you know it's actual truth and not just your truth? Well, wanting it to be true doesn't make it true. Number one, let's start with that. Just because you want something to be doesn't make it there. We're not happy feet. If you will it, it will be. That's not how truth works. And there's a lot of gray areas in a lot of different things we do. But in truth and honesty, there's no gray area. It's either black or it's white. That's just the way it is. If it's only true for you, then it's not truth. It's just a preference. Yes, I know that we live in a world where people say, well, I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to speak my truth. And I'm going to do that. Well, that's oftentimes not true. It's just a preference, and it feels good to say, well, it's true for me. I don't know what you're going to do. But if it's true for them and not true for you, is it true? No, that's selfish, and we don't want to do that. Well, what does honesty look like, right? So it's one of those things where it's like, well, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. But remember, honesty is adhering to the facts. Can you adhere to the facts without the facts? You cannot. You got to dig a little bit deeper to get to the facts. And sometimes we become blind to the facts because we don't want it to be what it is. We want something else to be so true, so bad that we will make our minds believe that it's a fact, and it's not a fact at all, right? Well, remember, adhering means action, so something has to take place. We've all heard the sayings where we say, the truth will set you free, and I'm just being blatantly honest. Well, let's start with the truth will set you free. That is actually a scripture. I believe it's John 8:32. And it actually says, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. So what is truth? That is you're like, okay, well, Keisha, what is truth? Truth is the gospel. What God said, Jesus, he is the truth. With that being said, if it can't be found on these particular facts, then it's not truth. You have to do digging and find out if it's true. So let's just not, and it's like, also like, is it really true? Does the truth actually set you free? Well, it does, but also in what context are you giving that truth? Like if someone says to you, hey, does this shirt make me look fat? And you go, well, I mean, it make you look okay. Now you're lying because you feel like it will help them. And then the next person says, absolutely not. That shirt makes you look huge. That was too much. Now you're hurting people. But right there in the middle is a sweet spot. Does this shirt make me look fat? Actually, that shirt is not flattering to you. Yes, it does make you look fat. I suggest you choosing something different. Well, you might say that's rude. Why would you tell that person that they're fat? Why would you lie to them? What's worse, telling them the truth that they asked for, or lying to them and they didn't ask you for that? So we want to do a little bit better with that, with the truth. And the other one is I'm just being blatantly honest. Again, we're breaking down words. Blatantly, it is crude. It is offensive. Why would you want to use honesty and make it offensive? The truth sometimes is hard enough on its own. And honesty oftentimes is hard enough on its own as well. So why in the world would someone want to be blatantly honest? Don't do that. That's not cute. We don't need to be blatantly honest. There's a way to say and to do everything. You can give people honesty and you can give people truth without hurting them and without making it about you. Because a part of that, the truth set you free, the way that people have taken it out of context is like, well, your man cheated on you, girl. I just want you to know it's the truth. You didn't have to tell her in front of all these other people. And you also didn't have to tell her in that way. You could have come to her woman to woman and said, hey, listen, I really have something to tell you. I don't know how you're going to take it, but I know that your man is cheating on you because I was at the bar with my man and he walked in with another girl. That wasn't the issue. It was when they kissed romantically that I knew something else was happening. She may be offensive and come back at you and say, well, why you didn't let me know? We all at the bar, blah, 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 blah. Because there's a time and a place for everything. If you care about her, then you don't want her to look stupid at the bar while her man is tongue kissing somebody else. Because now it's a whole scene. There's a time and a place for everything. There are ways to do things where you don't have to break character or change the way that you are to get results. So when it comes to truth and it comes to honesty, you want to adhere to the facts, but also throw a little class on there, a little sprinkle, a little dibble dabble of class, and tell people the truth in that manner. If I'm doing an awful job, I would much rather my supervisor say, hey, listen, these last few reports you've been doing, they have not been that great. You started off real good and now you've just become laxed. Opposed to, good job, good job, good job. Now I don't have nothing to fix. We can't all just be doing a good job. We have to be working towards something. But again, time, place, tone, tact. We can work on all of those things. So, what can we do differently about honesty and truth? How can we change our thinking when it comes to honesty and truth? I believe one of the ways we can change that is stop making it about you. Like I said, if you're going to tell someone something, you don't have to do it in a crowd. You can pull them to the side. If you don't feel close to them, you're like, okay, well, I don't know how I'm going to do this. You can say to them, hey, I know that our relationship is not this, but I do want you to know this. Instead of telling someone close in her circle, and then when it gets back to them, it's nothing like you had planned. Sometimes the truth will have us out there looking a little bit silly. That's just the way it is. But again, you want to be honest, you want to be truthful, but remember there's a time and a place. And if someone looks you in your face and says, is this flattering? They have just asked you. You need to tell them. And you're like, oh, I fall into that trap. Every time my wife asks me if something looks fat, I'm going to say, no, you don't look fat. Baby, every time you ask me, do you look fat? And I tell you yes, you get sad. So, sweetheart, do you really want to know the answer? Or does it just feel good coming off your tongue? Tact. Little class, little things like that. Yep, so you just got to read the room, know your people, find out what's going on, use good taste, be truthful and be honest, but you do not need to cut like a sword. And you also don't need to air people's dirty laundry, because if you're telling the truth just so you can feel better, knowing it's going to hurt someone and your intention isn't for them to be better, you need to reevaluate why you want to be so truthful and why you want to be honest. Because we are not out here just being mean to people for no reason. We are not those people. We're heading into a better place. Okay, so let's chat next time about something that's not as tough as truth and honesty. Let's talk about compliments.